Well, the eSIM market is developing in two different directions, both of which are very important, but one is growing faster than the other. So the eSIM in the consumer side, which started later, is catching up very quickly and eventually will become the largest segment of the market. The trend on the opposite side started very early, quite established, but probably going to be overtaken by the sheer size of the eSIM in consumer and enterprise mobility type of devices. There are obviously different parts of the ecosystem that are aligning together. So we at Ovum monitor each of these sides. We monitor the device, the OEM side. We monitor the supplier side, as in the communication service providers, CSPs, or mobile operators essentially. And we monitor the appetite from an enterprise point of view, from an industrial IoT point of view, or generally speaking IoT point of view, and from an enterprise demand point of view. Obviously, all together with that, we look at how the solutions that are enabling eSIM are getting into the market. Now, we have seen that in different stages, every single bit of this ecosystem is getting together in something that is, in certain cases, working really nicely. There is still quite a lot of work to be done for eSIM to get into the mass market. Clearly, the eSIM from a consumer device at least was introduced/forced into the market by Apple and followed by other players. But the large chunk of the market now is Apple devices, and those markets that are leading it, as those markets where Apple devices are very, very strong. So we're talking about the traditional Western markets plus many other markets where Apple is present. But these things will be changing as soon as the Android family of devices will come on board, which is going to be very soon. We think that by next year there will be some interesting developments. Mainly, we are going to see more integration of security element into silicon, into the chipset. So that is a big, important step. It's probably not going to be in a mass market fashion, and it's probably going to be limited mainly or initially into the IoT market, but that's a very important one. Other examples of big moves into this market next year, surely more OEM from the Android side of the market and more service providers from markets that have been reluctant so far. So I think the key takeaway from this event is that things are happening. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we were here debating something that were pretty much a concept. Now we're talking about a market that does exist, and we're talking about how to grow this market. And this is a shift compared to the previous events, and I'm sure from next year onward we will be talking about how to refine this segment. I think one of the things that is still discussed a lot is how to improve customer journeys. I think that part of the eSIM discussion will become more and more relevant as we go on.